First Coast's most accurate forecast from the First Coast News Weather Team, certified by Weather Rate, sponsored by AC Designs.
If only we had a view of Lemon Bar. If you just were able to turn this camera a little bit.
Yeah.
Just get to see all the Jags fans getting ready to go for the big party here tonight.
I mean, this basically is the shot, right? From Lemon Bar?
It's
pretty much.
Just to the right, like maybe a half a block to the right of the screen here is where Lemon Bar is. So they're seeing the exact same thing here if they look out towards the coast. But I'm sure most people are probably watching the TVs out there. And
nice breeze. Little wind swell coming in. Got to surf that this morning. Cirrus clouds heading east. Sea breeze heading west.
And if you don't know what we're talking about here, maybe some folks do live under a rock. Today is the 2025 NFL Draft. Jaguars are going to be on the clock with the 5th overall pick. So some big stuff going on. We're going to have full team coverage out there. Sports Director Chris Porter and I believe Ashley Gonzalez are going to be out at Lemon Bar. Meanwhile, sports reporter Shaz Pirani is going to be over at the Miller Electric Center to kind of try and get into the draft room or the war room, so to speak, to see what that process is looking like and get the reactions of a lot of the fans all across Jacksonville and the First Coast here tonight. And I think the best thing, guys, is the weather looks great for it.
Weather looks pretty good. And Ross, we have to talk about in addition to football since Robert's here.
What's that?
The puck is dropping tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
I mean,
yes.
My hot take is I don't really care about the draft. I don't know. Like, as long as the roster is put together by the start of the season. But I do care about the Icemen. Yeah, they're in Game 4. Hopefully they can pull something out.
Well, for those who have been following, share what's happened over the last 3 games for them.
They've lost in overtime. For 3 games straight. Their slogan, and they gave it out on towels last night, is "Find a Way," which says they've lost to the same team in the playoffs.
Yes.
For 3 years straight. So it's find a way. It really truly is at its most find its way-ist moment tonight. They have to win the next 4 to stay in the playoffs. But they're in the playoffs. So they got that to going for them.
But we also have to talk about...
Oh, the Jumbo Shrimp, yeah?
Yeah, they're here.
Carp Night, right?
Yeah, so is Carp Night and Country and Western Night the...
Country Music Night.
Country Music Night, not Country and Western.
They're both tonight.
No, just Country.
I don't know what Carp Night is.
What is Western music versus Country? Why aren't they including Western? Just Country?
Well, because country music can be anywhere across the country. Western's
Western's
probably a little bit more like red dirt country.
If I look this way, am I looking at Robert?
You're looking at both of us.
We're looking at you two.
We're looking at Ross.
So Robert, my point is that Ross was making fun of me. Yet the fact that when I said country and Western, and he said if it includes all music, that in many ways I actually had it correct. Wouldn't you say?
I guess. I don't know.
Give me a 70%, 40% chance or 60% chance?
I would say a good 70% chance you're correct.
Someday I really do want to know the difference between country and Western. But anyhow, but the weather looks good no matter what, right? If we're outside?
Yeah, weather looks good, whether you're out at the draft party or, as you mentioned, at the Jumbo Shrimp. I do have that forecast here coming up. I was going to just give a quick radar tour because we've got dry skies over us, but a lot of activity elsewhere across the country. Kind of out towards your old stomping grounds, Tim. We've got a nice little MCS working its way down towards Waco and College Station there. Severe thunderstorm watch and a couple warnings.
Going to head toward Highway 6. You know what they say at Texas A&M? If you disagree with what's happening, Highway 6 runs both ways, buddy.
Is that what they say?
That's what they.
That's
what they say. Anyhow, it looks like Bryan College Station just off to the southeast of. Texas has been active again.
Yeah.
Right, and they probably will be. And it's headed east now. I guess maybe a little inside baseball, but guys, see if this is true. That we feel confident about the forecast over the next couple of days. But the fact is, some chunk of that energy in Texas, the Vort Max, that's going to be drifting our way. And at some point, one of those chunks, probably farther off to the west or northwest. Where will they be when the front on Sunday drops into the First Coast? Mm-hmm. Same thing on Monday. I think that's what I'm trying to get at is that right now we're confident that primarily we're just talking about cirrus, so debris from those systems coming east, some cumulus clouds developing in the heat. but it does look like we'll have just enough ingredients for a better chance of rain, but not until later Sunday and Monday. Certainly not today.
And that does kind of seem like what the trend has been for not only us, but a lot of folks in Texas, all the way across the deep south. You're just kind of getting these short waves of energy continuing to go across. Jet stream kind of just pulls them eastward. So yeah, we have some things to talk about by the end of the weekend and into early next week. But Tim, I swear, every day you jump to
Sorry, Robert.
3 days ahead.
Over my mouth. I'll just sit here and listen. I should.
If you're an everyday watcher, you'll notice I typically set everything up in chronological order.
I just get so excited.
And Tim's just like, let's jump to Sunday. It's Thursday.
So I usually bring my laptop when I'm in here with him. Just you can kind of bounce around because he's the boss. Right. I just go wherever he goes.
I'm not the boss. That's why I'm heading out. I could just hop all over the place with the dog.
Well, Andy, can we see what do we have popped up here? What's the next thing?
Nice little breeze
That I have. Okay, here was the jumbo shrimp. See, I
nice.
promised it was on there.
Shrimp.
Oh, carp. I like that.
Oh, carp. And country music night, not country western.
I didn't say a word. Now, this is cool. This is cool. We were wondering about this morning because as for anybody who listens, I do get up pretty early with the wife to go for a run. And so we've been, you can't miss Venus before the sun comes up. And then, of course, the moon has been getting smaller and, of course, rising later. And so just this morning we were like, wow, they're really getting close. And sure enough, Robert said, yeah, we're going to have a smile face conjunction. Now, is that the official astronomical term?
Yeah, that actually is that's what it's being dubbed.
Okay.
It's a smile face conjunction.
I like it. So what are the other objects out there?
Well, Saturn.
Okay.
So it's the moon at its severe crescent phase, so it almost looks like this little smirk. Venus is very bright. Now Saturn is going to be very kind of dim. So it's more like a hard wink smile. And you got to manage your expectations because it's going to be at 5:30 a.m. And it's going to be right near the horizon. So if we got those offshore clouds, which we sometimes get over the Gulf Stream in the morning, you may not be able to see it at its truest smiley face form. I guess that's what you would call it. But at 5:30. Now, if you wait till 6. The moon's going to be rising, and then it's like one of the eyes are going to be going in the other direction, So it's really around this one specific time frame that will have them kind of getting that Cheshire, is that how you say it? Cat kind of look to it, where you have the smile face, you have one big bright, the Venus, and then Saturn will be right next to that as well, and it'll kind of give you that little face there. But it's pretty cool. And if you don't expect to see it, like you say, you guys go out for a run every morning. Let's say you're at the beach and you're out there at 5:30, 6 in the morning, and you don't anticipate it. I'm sure it'll probably catch some people off guard, like, whoa, that looks pretty cool. Yeah.
So have I shared with you guys why I love astronomy? I love astronomy because it's something that we meteorologists get to talk about, but we can nail. I mean, we don't know visually how it's going to look, but as far as the time, it should happen at 5:30 in the morning, right?
Actually, there was a group of kids in here, not to get too far off topic, but there was a group of kids in here this morning, and one of them said they liked meteors, and they liked space. And my trivia question for them was, well, do you know what the origin of meteorology comes from? And it's anything that falls from the sky. It's Greek for anything that falls from the sky, because at that time they didn't understand what if a meteor or rock or shooting star was different from rain. And that's why the term meteor. Yeah, for fun fact for people at home.
I didn't even know that's where it came from originally.
You didn't know that? Oh,
no.
There we go, science. But yeah, that's where it comes from.
Tim, did you know that?
Here's what I've been sharing with fifth graders for the last 43 years, is that it came from Greek language period, but that it was the interaction of the sky and the earth. So, but I would suspect that Robert's definition is even closer to true.
I think we're
so
on
I'm
the
having
same
to take
topic.
a deep breath and realize that maybe for 43 years I haven't been giving the best definition to fourth and fifth grade.
At least you both had a definition to work with. I had none.
Oh, so like a kid asked you right now, what does the term come from? You'd be like, look it up, kid.
Yeah.
You got to vote.
Go find the answer for yourself somewhere.
I digress, though.
But yeah, so we got the Smile Conjunction. Tonight should be a pretty nice night for some inland locations, perhaps, but also out there out at the beach. to go out and view that. Again, that's at 5:30 tomorrow morning. And then I am going to kind of change the topic a little bit, just kind of talk about, and I've updated this every day. We've talked about it a couple times on air, Tim and I have, about the lack of rain that we have seen really all across the First Coast and really most of Florida, but specifically to Jacksonville. We only had 3 days of measurable rainfall here all month. That was just over an inch in total between those 3 days. So we are now, inching closer and closer into that rainfall deficit, now down below an inch and a quarter, below average here for just the month of April. If we don't get rain today, which we don't expect to, at least for Jacksonville, it's going to make it now 13 straight days without rain. That'll be only an inch and a half over the last 45 days, which does include today here. So a very, very dry spell. And I want to show you just the latest from the drought monitor.
Oh, wow.
They update this every Thursday. So the I-4 corridor is in some pretty rough shape. You're talking about Daytona Beach down through Orlando, the Tampa area, and then especially down towards South Florida and the Everglades. Miami over to Fort Myers, West Palm Beach even. Some not only severe drought, but extreme drought conditions creeping in there. When you see those oranges, those reds beginning to fill on in, and then just zooming into the first coast. I mean, our southern tier also starting to see those, significant drought conditions starting to really increase here with the lack of rain we've seen over about the last, 45, 50 days.
Yeah, I guess that's another reason I was jumping ahead, just because I know as much as folks don't want any rain over the weekend, and maybe the highest risk is going to be late Sunday or Monday, but it does look like that's probably going to be our next best chance for the next maybe 7 to 10 days, and probably a better chance here than for folks down toward I-4, I would suspect, with this front.
And I think it does go back to the time and time again, we have been seeing these fronts they get to Jacksonville and they almost fall apart. It feels like over the last month or so.
Yeah.
Do you think that's contributing to the fact that they're seeing less rainfall along the I-4 corridor? Or is it something else?
I do think that part of this is climatology. April is typically one of our driest months, and now we're having a dry month for April. And some of it is the whole hemispheric thing of the farther south you are, then the farther away you are from the jet stream. And because we're not getting into April and May, that means the mean position of the jet stream is going farther and farther north. And so typically, at least what I've seen here is Central and South Florida, unless we have an anomalous front, they basically have to wait till tropical season starts kicking in. And at least they start getting some tropical waves that start bringing them some showers. So they could be in it for a while unless we have a sort of split flow form, and because I don't want to get any farther ahead than Ross wants to get ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I don't want to talk about the split flow that looks like it might be developing in about the 14-day time frame.
Talk about it.
Not even going to bring that up.
Talk about it. Let's go.
Not even going to bring it up.
We've got time here. We're not on the clock yet.
Okay, so it looks to me that maybe there's hope for Central and South Florida, and maybe even us, because at least it looks like we're beginning to see that in the 10 to 20-day period that we might get this anomalously strong ridge along the Canadian-U.S. border. And if that happens, then maybe we'll get a split flow, which would mean later into the season we get not strong, but we get more of these short waves coming in from the west. And if that anomalous high stays positioned to the north, then eventually maybe that would mean a low developing in South Florida and a high pressure to the north, and so we get this maybe flow from the surface to 18,000 feet out of the east. And of course, as y'all know, that this is the time of year if an upper level pattern sets up, and can sometimes set up for a long period of time. So anyhow, since you let me jump ahead, that's what I don't know if I'm actually believing the science or I'm hope-casting. So
yeah,
we'll leave it at that.
Something to at least keep an eye on in the extended forecast.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow, you saw it there, kind of the hour by hour, and then inland areas, perhaps a little bit warmer than what the hour by hour was showing. Upper 80s for you folks. They're showing a 91 in Valdosta. So it's going to be a warm end to your work week here, but overall a pretty dry one, right, guys? We're not really expecting much with regards to rainfall or any thunderstorms, really. That onshore flow out of the east and southeast kind of continues through Friday and even into the start of the weekend here as well.
I won't lie, though. This morning, I saw those kind of cumulus clouds out there, and I was thinking, Ooh, okay, maybe we can make it rain, but nothing developed. It's just too dry. It feels like, especially in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. So we are getting that moisture coming in off of the ocean. So don't let it mislead you at home. You kind of see some stuff popping off in the morning, some clouds developing, but the atmosphere just doesn't have that instability. At least until, well, you can see right there Sunday when we have those showers coming in. We got a first pitch at 3:00. Do you think that game should be over though by the time we get any kind of chances of rain coming in there?
If it was up to me, I'd be saying 2 to 3.
When we're for first pitch or when the
for
rain
downtown.
For when the rain will arrive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be my first guess. Now I was as I was looking at the GFS and starting to just not look at surface, but also go up to about 700 millibars. It did look like, because the 700 millibar flow is still going to be out of the west and northwest, that even if those showers form farther west with the wind shift, that a big event could then bring some of that mid-level rain back. Mm-hmm. I'm sort of wondering about that as well. So I to your point, yeah, maybe if we don't get it with the wind shift, but maybe it doesn't happen until after game time. So I can see that point coming in. I guess the point we're trying to make, folks, is when the front arrives, it's going to be relatively weak. Compared to how it is now, but it might be working with just the right amount of ingredients, right? Sea breeze comes in against the land breeze, front comes in out of the northeast, so we have sort of like a triple point convergence, just enough moisture, heat of the day, so we have just enough lift, and then maybe, and this is why I was talking about this, was that hours ago when we started this, that maybe one of those Vort Maxes might be coming at us from the west and northwest right as that happens. Of course, Robert will be here to.
Yay!
Well, no. Robert will probably be gone by then.
Yeah, Lee will probably be here.
Lee will be here.
Yeah, we'll be around. Maybe standing outside looking at the sky, watching the storms go up. But yeah, it's what else is going on Sunday too? I mean, of course we have the Jumbo Shrimp. The Jack's Boat Show is also taking place downtown too. So
that's all weekend, right?
Yeah, that's all weekend. So there's plenty of stuff happening. Definitely want to. Jack's Ready as well. Is that just Friday and Saturday?
Jack's Ready is Friday and Saturday. I'm glad you brought that up. Jack's Ready. It's a city event. Our local emergency managers will be there. They use it as a way to kick off and get ready for hurricane season, but they really are there for you name it. I mean, other type of weather events, whether we're talking about lightning safety, rip currents, fires, but they're also there for the other reasons that first responders come. So they're there to talk about all kind of stuff, safety around the house.
I see they have a CPR course set up too.
Yeah, so right. I mean, they're all angles because they have to cover all those angles. So I would suspect that even if you're not thinking about weather, that there's some other ingredient there and it's going to be at the Prime Osborne, so they can handle a lot of people. So yeah, the public is invited Friday and Saturday to that.
But that is an indoor event, right?
That's indoor event, right? So if you want some AC,
yeah.
Hey,
there we go.
Look out there. Somebody's saying down in front.
Have those guys been at the bar since 11? That's what we're wondering.
I like the wait. Go back.
What was floating in the water there?
So they've got like blow up footballs. Okay.
Okay.
We got some folks.
Now the next question is, if for instance, if what's the age? 21.
Yeah.
I could imagine.
For drinking?
I
country you in?
I can imagine if I was there with my 21-year-old buddies, that if you'd been there for a few hours, I would suspect at least one of my buddies would start noticing where the cameras are, would start noticing when they come live, and one of my buddies would have then decided what kind of cannonball jump they're going to do.
Oh, yeah.
This is perfectly framed for a cannonball jump right there. Oh, goodness. I mean, we need to ask what everybody's drinking there, because all I see is beers. I don't see a good hurricane, mudslides, or tequila. We're trying to stay weather-related here, you know? Or what's a classic... Is there a Jaguar drink?
We should have one.
Like a Jacksonville classic?
Yeah.
I don't know it. I'm embarrassed if maybe there isn't. And if there isn't, we should think of one.
I feel like it would be something tropical. Maybe some blue curacao in it.
It's got to be teal kind of color.
Yeah. Some blue curacao with maybe a little bit of green food dye, and that would give it the teal color, perhaps.
Yeah, we got to work on that.
Something to stir up. But again, as we said at the top of the stream, Sports Director Chris Porter Shaz Pirani, Ashley Gonzalez, they're going to be.
They're going to be there all evening long, right?
Yeah, all night. I think after the Jags, take their pick at number 5. Pretty sure they're hopping right on here on FCM Plus to kind of stream and talk about the pick, what they think. Is it a good one? Is it not? Kind of break down the good or positive impact that potential player could have on the Jags. And then if the Jags move back, if they trade back, or if they trade back into the first round and trade some of their later round picks, they're also going to be hopping on here to break it down for that as well. Not only tonight, but I think also, Andy, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think they also have a decent plan tomorrow and Saturday as well, because the draft, again, is a 3-day event. Round 1's tonight, rounds 2 and 3 tomorrow, and then 4 through 7 on your Saturday afternoon. So,
see, I don't know why you're being critical of Chris. I think it's better than a decent plan. I think it's a fantastic.
I apologize, Chris. I apologize. But an exciting night.
A good thing the weather is good out there.
Oh,
too,
gosh, yes.
It would be. Yeah. I mean, it's a beachfront bar.
Yes,
It's classic Jacksonville beachfront bar. If it was cold, it'd probably be miserable. If it was raining, it would be miserable. The weather is absolutely perfect, not only for now, but even heading into the evening. Yeah, there's a little breeze, but
you got to believe that that team over there, which thinks first class and first rate, that each year they are also thinking, okay, what if the NFL draft is here in Jacksonville? Because someday that's going to happen. And it would be interesting if you decided to do it. Are they thinking, hey, maybe we'd have it both downtown at the Dailies, but then maybe have a cool place out at the beach, just to show off.
Do we know? Actually, maybe I can look that up. We only have 30 seconds. I was going to say, do we know when the other drafts are going to be in the coming years? Andy, do you know offhand? No. We'll get that information for you tomorrow for rounds 2 and 3.
Here's my guess, and you guys know sports much better than me. But I would say our first best chance is going to be the first year that brand new stadium is showing itself.
Good idea.
That's my guess.
like
Wrapping things up here?
Yes.
Yeah. All righty. Jags are on the clock. Take care, guys.